Hey guys, so I decided to try out Chat GPT. I've heard a lot of interesting things about it, and I figured it's from the same, it's from OpenAI, the same people who did a DALL-E. I've already done a little bit of testing with it already, and I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen. Like just to give you an idea, I actually asked it to work on a networking module. No, wrong one. It's been pretty interesting. Let me see. I've got here. Yeah, it actually made. I actually asked it to make a network module, the general purpose network module. Yeah, just to see what it would come up with, and I'm just reading over the code. It's actually been very, very impressive. I'm just curious how I can implement it. I'm still looking into maybe implementing something like this, like going forward with my games. If I can get it to work on certain parts that are going to be very tedious, it'll go a long way in allowing me to complete my games. But anyway, getting back to what I was looking at before. Let's go here. Yep, wrong way. All right. So yeah, so this evening specifically, I was gonna see if I could do a little bit of storyboarding with Chat GPT, since story's been one of the few things with the game that I haven't actually even touched since starting on this project in earnest back in 2018. So well, let's get to it. So I haven't actually written a prompt yet, so I'm just gonna go from there. So, create a video game story. Create a story for a video. Create a story. The video game is a top-down shooter with 2D platformer elements in it. Create a story for video games. Create a story for the video game. The video game is a top-down space shooter with 2D platformer elements in it. The story should contain plot lines regarding a interplanetary faction war between three factions. The mysterious destruction of the player's home world with space, and I wonder if that's enough. What other plot? Like, I had two plot points in my mind when I made this. One with an interplanetary faction war, mysterious destruction of a player's homeworld planet, and forces. And powerful cross dimension and a powerful cross-dimensional beings bent on devouring our universe. Devouring the universe the player inhabits. Habits. I don't know, that sounds too much like ESO, I guess. Well, I am curious, though I am curious, because you got powerful cross-dimensional beings bent on taking over the world. I don't know if it might be too on the nose. Although I am curious to see how that goes. Actually, let's just remove that part because it's too much. It's like too on the nose. Like anybody who knows me would be like, "Ah, man, you got that from ESO." I need a third plot point though. Create a story for a video game. The video game is top-down space with 2 elements in it. Regarding an interplanetary faction war between 3 factions, it's destruction of the player's homeworld, and what would be another thing you could do in space? Not sure. What else could you do? Another plot. Like, I haven't, you can tell I haven't really thought about the story so much. I had, like, when I came up with the idea back in 2015 originally, I had an idea about the type of game I wanted it to be. Like, the idea that stuck in my head was basically a 2D platformer where you could actually leave the planet and go somewhere else, and there was no load screen between it. In this case, it's and basically you could fly in ships and get out of them at any time you wanted to do all sorts of stuff. I'll just say other plot points can be added. In a far-off galaxy, 3 powerful factions have been locked in a bitter war for control of the galaxy's resources and territory. The player takes on the role of a skilled pilot from a small peaceful planet named Elysium. We might have to change that. However, their idyllic home is suddenly and mysteriously destroyed, leaving the player as one of its only survivors. Fueled by a desire for revenge, the player joins one of the factions and quickly rises through the ranks, becoming one of the top pilots. As the player progresses through the game, they uncover a sinister plot involving a 4th faction, the shadowy organization known as the Black Suns. Ooh, that's a good name. That is a very good name, Black Suns. Who orchestrated the destruction of Elysium as a means to destabilize the balance of power and pave the way for their own rise to dominance. As the player fights to uncover the truth and bring back Black Suns to justice, they will encounter intense space battles, infiltrate enemy bases, and make alliances with unlikely allies. This is awesome. Along the way, they will discover new technologies and unlock powerful upgrades for their ship. With the fate of the galaxy hanging in the balance, the player must navigate treacherous politics, outsmart cunning enemies, and ultimately lead their faction to victory in the war, and put an end to the Black Suns once and for all. That's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually. I mean, it's kind of generic, but I like it. I can work on that. I can probably change the name of the planet and whatnot. That's interesting. I'll put this right here. Alright then. uh, to go into detail about the game's 2D platform elements. Planets in this universe as two-dimensional structures and walk along the edges. Like a circular plot. The player can so get out of their ship at any time. One of the core elements of gameplay is the to switch your weapon, switch the weapon on your ship from thousands of possible weapon combinations. You also have the ability to claim a as home and terraform slash build a settlement on it. Other planets might have pre-built settlements. With already with NPCs. With NPCs on them. Right into list. Okay, so it thinks the ship is a base, but it's not so much a base. Okay, so in this top-down space shooter, the player's ship is not only a powerful weapon in the fight against the Black Suns, but also serves as a mobile base of operations. In addition to engaging in intense space battles, the player will also have the opportunity to explore the unique 2D circular planets that exist in this universe. As they fly through space, the player will encounter different planets with varying degrees of habitability. Some planets may be barren and inhospitable, while others may be lush and teeming with life. The player can choose to land on these planets and explore them on foot, using their ship's weapons to defend them against hostile creatures and enemies. As the player progresses through the game, they will unlock the ability to claim a planet as their own and begin building and terraforming settlements on it. They can construct new buildings and facilities, recruit NPCs to help them manage the settlement, and can also expand their territory by taking over planets, adding new resources and technologies to their arsenal. The player will also have the ability to customize their ship's weapons, choosing from thousands of possible combinations. This will allow them to tailor their ship to their playstyle and adapt to different situations. As the player explores the planets and complete missions, they will discover new and powerful weapons and upgrade the ones they already have. With the fate of the galaxy on the line, the player must use all their skills and resources to lead their faction to victory and put an end to Black Sun's reign of terror. Okay. Pretty basic. Let me see. Let me see here. Of planet name redacted. All right, file. Where was I? All right. All right. All right. Summary of the story. Yeah. We go here. I should have probably just put more of the what? I guess I do. I guess I closed it. Alright then. Alright. Fill out the complete the rest of the complete the rest of the story details. Give me a second. I think, what was the order of a story? Build up, conflict, resolution. No, I need the parts of a story. Yeah, I think this is it. Or is it? Rising action, climax, falling action, end. I thought it was like Complete the rest of the story details. As the player progresses through the game, they will become embroiled in a series of escalating conflicts between their chosen faction and the Black Suns, who are determined to crush all resistance and establish their own rule over the galaxy. The player will engage in intense space battles and ground assaults, using their ships, weapons, and their own combat skills to take on waves of enemy fighters and powerful bosses. As the player completes missions and earns experience, they will unlock new abilities and upgrades for their ship and character, becoming an ever more formidable force in the war. Along the way, they will make alliances with other factions and races, and will encounter a variety of characters, some of who will become important allies, and others who will be bitter enemies. It's pretty generic. I mean, I guess it's good. You can tell it's pretty generic there. As the player delves deeper into the mystery of the Black Suns, they will uncover a sinister plot involving advanced technology and forbidden knowledge that the Black Suns have obtained through unethical means. The player will have to navigate treacherous politics, outsmart cunning enemies, and ultimately lead their faction to victory in the war and put an end to the Black Suns once and for all. Ultimately, the player will be faced with a final showdown against the Black Suns leader, a powerful and enigmatic figure who holds the key to the destruction of their world. I'm gonna have to change that. And the fate of the galaxy, with the help of their allies and the full power of their ship and weapons. The player must defeat the Black Suns leader and restore peace to the galaxy. In this epic space adventure, players will explore strange new worlds, encounter a variety of alien races and cultures, and engage in the thrilling battles they fight and uncover the truth and bring the Black Suns to justice. With the fate of the galaxy hanging in the balance, the player must prove themselves a true hero of the galaxy. I guess I should really keep it open. Let's see here. Plot, settings, character, point of view. Alright, in this universe, there are a total of 600 planets that the player can navigate to. Of the current planet types, you have forest planets, desert planets, snow planets, corruption I need to go look at my plan. I need to go back to that. Give me that. Alright. Let me see here. Session onslaught ideas. Classes. Where did I put them? To be completed. Tile review, I think. Yeah, this will tell me. Lava plan. Let me move this right over here. Actually, I'll just move this here. Open with photos. There we go, yeah. That's more like it. Barren like planets. Magma planets. Magma planets. Jungle planets. And savanna planets. Go into detail about create a thing for each of the types. That might be create a creating that the player visits at least one type, one planet of each type, assuming that the player visits at least one. Create a story expanding on the story and why the player is at each one of the planets. Assuming that the player visits at least one planet of each type, expand on the story and why the player is each one of the of the planets. So in this universe, there are a total of 600 planets that the player can navigate to. Of the current planet types, you have forest planets, desert planets, snow planets, corruption planets, barren lunar-like planets, magma planets, jungle planets, and savanna planets. Assuming that the player visits at least one planet of each type, expand on the story and why the player is at each one of the planets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. It's not a description of the type of planet. Rather the play is visiting a planet of each of these types that is important to the plot. So it's not a description of the type of planet, rather the player is visiting a planet of each of these types. Because of a plot point. Describe the plot point for each of the planets the player visits. So it's not a description of the type planet, rather the player is visiting a planet of each of these types. One planet of each of these types. Because of a particular plot point. Describe the plot point for each of the planets the player visits. The player, okay, so in this universe, the player's journey will take them to various planets, each with its own unique plot point. Here's a few examples. Forest planets, the player will be sent to a forest planet as part of a mission to retrieve a powerful energy source that was hidden by a rogue scientist before he defected to the Black Suns. The player will have to navigate through the dense forest, fighting hostile creatures and enemies while searching for the energy source. Okay, desert planets, the player will be sent to a desert planet to investigate a Black Suns research facility that is developing a new type of weapon. The player will have to infiltrate the facility, sabotage the weapon, and extract information about the Black Suns' plans. Snow planets, the player will be sent to a snowy planet to rescue a kidnapped ally who holds vital information about the Black Suns. The player will have to navigate through the harsh winter conditions and fend off Black Suns' troops while rescuing their ally and extracting the information. Corruption planets, the player will be sent to a planet that was corrupted by the Black Sun's dark experiments The player will have to battle hordes of mutated creatures and uncover the secret of Black Sun's experiments to find a way to stop the corruption. Barren, lunar-like planet. The player will be sent to a barren planet to sabotage a Black Sun's mining operation. That's all. Well, I guess it really understands the source. Like there's nothing else on to do there but to mine stuff. The player will be sent to a barren planet to sabotage Black Sun's mining operation that is extracting rare minerals used in the operation of advanced weapons. The player will have to infiltrate the mining facility and destroy the operation, while also retrieving as much of the mined materials as possible. Magma planet. The player will be sent to a magma planet to sabotage the Black Sun's weapon production facility that is producing powerful weapons and using the planet's abundant resources. The planet will have to infiltrate the facility, destroy the production line, and extract any useful information. Jungle planets. The player will be sent to a jungle planet to retrieve a powerful ancient artifact that is believed to hold the key to defeating Black Sun. Okay. The player will have to navigate through the dense jungle, finding off hostile creatures and enemies while they search for the artifact. Savannah planets. The player will be sent to a Savannah planet to help an allied faction defend their territory from imminent Black Sun invasion. The player will have to lead the defense using their ship and weapons to fight off waves of enemy fighters and powerful bosses. As the player visits each of these planets, they will encounter various challenges and obstacles that will test their skills and determination as they uncover the truth about the Black Sun's planet. Okay. Oops. Mind you, there corrupted planets. Mind you, there isn't a single corrupted planet, but multiple out of the 600 that exist. This and not all of them are a result not all of them are a result of Black Sun's tempering. Dark Spear. Create a plot point regarding why there are more than one corrupted planet. There are more than one corrupted planet. There's more than one corrupted planet. That exists. Alright, so mind you, there isn't a single corrupted planet, but multiple out of the 600 that exist, and not all of them are a result of Black Sun's dark experiments. Create a plot point regarding why there is more than one corrupted planet, and what phenomenon is and what phenomenon is causing this. That's interesting. In this universe, the player will discover that the corruption that affects some of the planets is not a result of the Black Sun's dark experiments alone. It's revealed that a rare and powerful element known as netherite is the main cause of the corruption. Netherite is an unstable and highly reactive element that can cause catastrophic mutations in the environment and the creatures living in it when it comes into contact with other elements and energy sources. It's revealed that the Black Suns have been mining netherite from various planets, extracting it in large quantities. Those damned Black Suns. And using it in their weapons and experiments. But they are not the only ones. The other factions and even rogue scientists have also been seeking the element for their own gain, leading to multiple planets being affected by netherite corruption. The player will be sent on a mission to investigate the source of netherite and discover that it originates from a distant planet, a planet that is home to an ancient civilization that was destroyed by netherite. The player will have to navigate through the ruins of the civilization, fighting off corrupted creatures and uncovering the secrets of netherite. As the player discovers more about it, they will realize that it is not only affecting individual planets, it is also affecting the balance of power in the galaxy. The player will have to make a decision to either destroy the source of netherite and putting the end to the corruption, or using it to gain the upper hand in a war against the Black Suns. In the epic space adventure, the player will explore strange new worlds, uncovering ancient secrets. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit different since I think we've gotten a pretty good baseline for a story. I can try to flesh out something or see what I can do with that. I am curious about it, about maybe having events. So in this universe, the universe is filled. Universe the player inhabits is filled with many horrors and wonders and horrors. Because the player can leave their ship at any time, they can interact with a variety of ground and space-based events that might occur in the universe. Come up with a list of 100 events ground events and 100 space events. For example, while flying through space, the player may encounter an abandoned ship that they can loot, capture, or destroy. On the ground, yeah. The ground. Its surface. A player might experience a variety of different weather. An invasion force from black sun. Asteroid strikes and crash landing pods and ships. Come up with a list of 100 ground events and 100 space events. Let's go ahead and close this. I see what he's doing here. The crash of a passenger vessel. Now I see what it's doing, because it's doing exploration of a research outpost. Continue. I already have discovery of a black hole in there. That's awesome. continue the list. Yeah, all right. Save as. Possible events in Starshot Onslaught. That's very interesting. Now I'm curious, since it does have the ability to write code. I'm going to see if I have that. Let me see here. To-do list. Ah, here it is. All right. I'm curious since since it's not so much story here, but I am curious if it can generate the commander the commander option. That would be curious. I'd be curious. So. Code in C# for an object class called Commander. Now I want to make sure I got this right because I'm curious about this now. Such as will take control of based on the need. Please add free describing what each section of the code does. This guy. This is a custom. Well, this is an interesting start, actually. Save as commander.cs. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. Public void initialize. So, see, this says array of indexes to keep track of the ships controlled by the commander. Number of waves the ship commander will spawn, if any. Number of name of the team controlled by the commander. Color of the ships controlled by the commander. Boolean variable to keep track of if the commander has attempted to call for help. I'll probably sit down at some point. This would be a video in and of itself of me just having it design the AI for the game, redesign, I should say, the AI for the game to make it more complicated, more complex, and more interactive, more dynamic, I guess would be the best term. Oh, I guess I should save. Commander object. Actually, I'm curious. Now I'm just curious about it. Curious. Are you able to read tables? I'm curious if I can use them to rename, to give a naming convention to create a naming convention for, because right now all of the string names for them all look like this. I wonder if it would be that smart. I don't know. What I was thinking of doing here is if I tell it to rename it, because right now these are all names. These are all names that it comes up with. That it came up. These are all names that it came up with, or that I came up with. Sorry, in regards to it. But I'm wondering if it can come up with like general names, because right now, if you make a factory gun, its name looks like this. Like factory guns look like this. Randomly generated guns have name tags that look like this. I think this has a filter on it. Yeah, because there's several that are I guess I would have to tell it what I guess I have to tell it what it is. What the where is it? Point trailing special effects. I wonder. Because I don't know how it would rename it though. It's a crazy ask, and it's because I'm wondering if I could. Because that's multi-shot right here. Trailing. This is how the sprite looks. Yeah, I'm gonna need to... Give me a second. I'm gonna need to go look in the sprite folder for it. Projectiles, projectile. I need projectiles. There it is. But I just created new projectiles. I have a whole bunch of new projectiles. I need to saved world. Lakes to be completed. I think this is the old one. Ah, Artex. Yeah. Final resolution, costume. Art. Alright, Artex projectiles, hairstyles. Pretty sure I told her to do projectiles too. Oh, I did. I'm just looking over it. Wait, I don't have to draw them, write them from scratch. I should still have that in my instructions of what needed to be completed. Explanation grid. Where is it? Projectiles explained. Yeah, I have all of them right here. I could totally filter this in and say, okay, come up with a naming convention. So basically, let me see if I can come up with... Come up with a naming convention that util the table. Come up with a naming convention that utilizes the values shown in the table. But the AI doesn't know that point initiates sprite. Let me see. So the columns int underscore speed determines how fast a projectile will travel. Int underscore index determines it is located in the master array. You can ignore this one. Int dissolve delay. It determines how long a projectile exists for. Determines how long a projectile exists for. How long a projectile exists for before dissolving. The higher the number, the longer the projectile lasts. Int gravity of and determines if the projectile is gravity affected. Double scale. I forgot what double. Oh, right. Double scale. Double scale determines how the projectile is. Bool underscore reflective determines the projectile bounces on contact. int underscore specific surfaces, like a planet. Like the ground. Int explosive. Projectile explodes. Determines the string name determines the name of the that is being created. This an Excel spread that create each column to fill out a specific new gun. Come up with it. This table is an Excel spreadsheet that allows each column to fill out a specific line of code called new gun. Come up with a naming convention that utilizes can be used each new gun object based on its This table is an Excel spreadsheet that utilizes each column to fill out a specific parameter for a line of code called new gun. Come up with a naming convention that can be used to rename each new gun object based on its properties. To explain the columns, yeah, I've got that. String name determines the name of the new gun that is being created. This is where the naming convention. This is where the naming convention. The name by the naming convention would go. I don't even know that this is a pretty complicated task. I don't know if it could do that, if it can do it, but I'll be impressed. I'm already impressed, but if it can pull this off, this is just going to be amazing. Int action at dissolve. Action at dissolve. I thought I put something on here that tells me what these items are. I had a list for what it does. Ah, here it is. Scroll all the way back to the surface. What happens when you project? The dissolves. Small explosion. 2 equals large explosion. Three equals create a spiral. Huh? What happened? Oh, there it is. Okey-doke. Anyway. Equals up. All right. All right. Apply recoil to player. All right. Maybe I should lessen it though, not make it like every single object, but like certain ones. Yeah. I don't know. This seems pretty complicated. I don't have this one quite listed. Maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way, I think. I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to do too much, I think, because I can say int speed 50, and if that's high, is that too high or too low? We don't know that. Point types is another thing. I'm gonna probably just have to call this differently because it's complicated. This is more complicated than what I'll have to think about this one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this one. Like a new naming convention for. That would be great if I can come up with a new naming convention, because then that means each weapon would then have its own a naming convention based off of that. Like I should probably come up with a naming convention and then tell Chat GPT to make the code for it, because this is pretty complicated. Okay. I'll on the little work on it in order it to where I want it to be. Alright, let's see here. So we have I know what else I was gonna do. No. You're going to come back to that. Okay. See if we can go here. I'll leave that. Chat GPT. All right, let me see here. Do you recall the general purpose multiplayer module with serialization I asked you to create yesterday. Huh? Oh. Okay. Ah, so it can't remember what you did, what I did yesterday. Okay. So the code you. It's a good thing I saved this then. The code you designed looked like this. Yeah. Oops. Wrong one. I think I keep clicking that. I'm going to. Okay, good. That's empty too. I don't have anything open. All right. Could you redesign it so that the object array is now a multi-dimensional array that has this 5 sub-object. 5 object arrays of them. Continue. Continue. Send update to all connected clients. I guess I should look at this because this says Hmm. Actually. Code block from the top. Hmm. Alright, let's see here. I need to go back. Dang it. Let me just close this. Chat GPT general on multi-dimensional array.cs. Alright. I have to study this more in detail. I'm sure there's stuff I have to add to it. Alright. I'm very impressed with what I've seen so far on it, and I think Chat GPT will be a very useful tool for productivity. I wonder if there's anything else I'm trying to think of some other things, but I am just checking a few other things. I'll close this for now. Does no game framework have multiplayer function? Oops. You familiar with the mono game framework? Okay, so at least it knows what monogame is. That's good. Monogame framework have multiplayer functionality. Yes, monogame does have multiplayer functionality, while the monogame itself does not provide built-in support for multiplayer functionality. It does have necessary low-level functionality for network communication, such as support for TCP, UDP sockets. Developers can use this functionality to create their own multiplayer functionality, such as implementing client-server communication, or they can use third-party library server. Okay. So it's aware of that. Well, Chat, I think I'm going to call it for the stream. Chat GPT has been a very fascinating tool that I probably, at some point, I probably will go and utilize it to fill out certain parts of Starshot Onslaught, like things that I know would be tedious for me to just create on my own. Since I think this would be perfect, not to make the whole game itself, but just to fill out tedious parts or even do reworks. Like for certain parts, like I could see it reworking my current AI to make it more dynamic. Like I think I said that before, but I think I'm gonna